Against former Tory MP and candidate for leader Rory Stewart appeared on Question Time on Thursday, where the issue, of course, was immigration. However, the discussion shifted to the number of people who are currently reliant on some sort of assistance. Now, they're called benefits, but I prefer the term entitlements. Now, many people who make up the total figures are students, some are in training, others are retired, but there's also another cohort that has been described as economically inactive. Rory asked the question, why is this number so high, and what's stopping young people from taking up employment? What he had to say at the end of this monologue hit the nail right on the head. Have a listen.
Number one, we're in an unbelievable hole. Right? This is 9.2 million economically inactive people. That's 1 in 7 of people aged under 65 who aren't children. Huge. Secondly, we're complete European outliers. The rest of Europe, this stuff sorted itself after COVID, and we didn't. Thirdly, what I could never really say as a government minister, nobody has really much of a clue why it's happening. It's really weird. Here are some things that we notice, though. 1 in 20 people are on disability benefits in Windsor. Something closer to 1 in 6 are on disability benefits in Blackpool. So it clearly has some connection to poverty, to region. I'd suggest you need to look at what's happening with children too. The number of children with ADHD and autism diagnoses has gone up by 50%. It's a staggering increase. The majority of people claiming personal independence payment at the moment are declaring mental health issues. And if we really step back, part of the problem maybe is that we've created a really rubbish working environment. Jobs are poorly paid, they're extremely stressful. People in Britain work much longer hours than they do in Europe for less money. And therefore, it's not very surprising that 9.2 million people are not very keen to re-enter the workforce.
Well said, well said. Look, I don't always agree with Rory Stewart, but he's completely on the money here. If you're offering young people crap jobs, no job security, low pay, terrible working conditions, it's going to be difficult to convince them to take up this type of employment if the benefits they're receiving are equal or just slightly less. Like, who's going to take up a stressful job with no prospects, no security, if benefits are somewhat, are providing a similar income? And this is not criticizing the young people. This is criticizing society. Because if we want proper growth, if we want to lift people out of poverty, if we want to lift people out of unemployment, we need to provide them with opportunities, real opportunities. There's been a race to the bottom over the last 14 years in particular, but over the last number of decades, stripping away protections for workers, a move away from stable employment to zero-hour contracts and unstable jobs. And young people are being told, look, don't worry, it will improve. Because in the past, it was possible, okay, I'll do a pretty crappy job for a few months and then I'll gain some experience and then I'll improve my situation. But that's gone. Jobs for life are non-existent, or pretty much non-existent at the moment. So young people are being told, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You need to, deal with the crappy jobs for a bit and then things will improve. But they know that things will not improve. And Rory hit on another thing here, mental health. During a cost of living crisis, the stress that people go through is greatly increased. So of course you're going to see more issues related to mental health. And if people are not getting the support they need, then it's going to be difficult for them to re-enter the workplace or start working in the first place. So Rory's completely correct here. There's so many factors, and unfortunately, politicians and the media will jump on the simple answer. Oh, these people are just lazy. Young people are lazy today. It's easy. It's an easy response. What we need to do is we need to force people off benefits. We need to use the stick and less of the carrot. When we know that the jobs that are available to young people today are crap, and it's not just that they're low paid, but there are no prospects for the future. And if you have no prospects for the future, what's the point in leaving something like some sort of benefit or entitlement and throwing yourself from the frying pan into the fire. Something has to change, but it has to start at the top. Governments need to decide, do we want young people to take up jobs, and do we want them to feel happy doing those jobs, or at least content with some prospect for the future? Because if we don't, if we just want to engage once again in this race to the bottom, then this is the consequences we're going to see. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.